Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living in Visalia. We're glad you're here. And if any of you ever need to know anything more about science of mind or religious science, which is the old name for Centers for Spiritual Living, just ask us. We've got a whole bookstore here you can dive into and read up on it. I got to say, for the last few months, I've been quite thankful. You guys are probably thankful too because I'm not wearing shorts in the middle of winter. We've got, an air conditioning and HVAC system that's not working in the sanctuary. It needs to be replaced. So remember, we'll need some donations when we get ready to put that in. But hey, the positive side, I've been comfortable in here in the winter. In the past, I used to be too hot. And then I find out that people like Donna or Roscoe like to turn the temperature up to 72 degrees. And it's like, well, no wonder it was too hot for me. So, give thanks. Sometimes the negatives work out. But, of course, summer's coming, so we'll be too hot then. So we've got a great day here coming. I welcome Donna Baranyay.
Good morning. What a beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning it is. Let's start with prayer, anchoring down into our heart space, connecting with hearts from either side of us. If we're in the sanctuary, if we are remote, honoring that there is no distance in love and that our hearts are connected virtually, knowing and calling forth that truth of the divine right here and right now, calling it forth into our service, into those who are speaking, through our music, through all of our consciousness who is participating in this service, because all of us are participating, whether we are sitting in the audience, watching virtually, or participating actively, because it is the vibration of love, the vibration of the divine that is in the midst of this time together today. Grateful for this time of service, grateful for recognizing that it is the feeling of good from within our heart that is bringing itself forth into our service today. I say thank you, sweet spirit, and so it is. And now we get to enjoy our opening music of We Come Together.
All right, this one's an oldie but goodie. We've done this one so many times, so put your hands together and let's sing. All right. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Thank you, band. We have lots of substitutes today, and you guys are wonderful. Kevin, Jeremy, Joey, and of course, Hope and Don. So thank you for the great music. You know, I think here at the Center for Spiritual Living Visalia, we've been wrapping it up a little bit lately. A little more energy, a few more people. It's sort of exciting to have everybody here. So welcome, everybody. So let's go to the announcements. So first, I want to remind everybody, if anybody is interested in becoming a member here or just learning a little bit more about what the Science of Mind philosophy is, we're going to have a new member class February 25th, right after service. It's free. You don't have to become a member afterwards. You don't have to say I'll do anything. Just come if you want to learn more about it. I think it'll be a wonderful class, and you'll see what we really think and believe here. So, and we have some other classes coming up. Reverend Donna is going to be teaching the 4 agreements, and that's a class I've never taken. I don't think we've offered it for a long, long time. And then she's going to do something called Quick Start to Science of Mind. Instead of the 10 or 12-week one, which is too long for me, it's going to be a shorter version. And we don't have dates or times or anything yet, but those will be coming up. So I know people have been asking for classes and wanting, because it's really the classes where you learn what we're all about and how to make this philosophy work for you. So we'll have more information when those get started. Okay, Steve talked about we need money for the air conditioning and the heating. So we haven't done anything since New Year's, so we're going to start doing things again. Donna Kay has made this wonderful cake. It's over, and we'll have it afterwards, and there's a donation a little basket there, so give what you can or would like to, and we'll keep raising money. Last year, we did raise $2,000. Yeah. Most of it for our furry little friends. You know, we had that furry who was going to be the mascot, and it turned out to be Gigi, who is our mascot. And so we have $7,000 left to go. So our next fundraising project will be, remember when we did Kaching? How many remember Kaching? Only a few people were here then. So Kaching was something that was really, I thought was great fun that Reverend Nan did. So she had this little app on her phone that went Kaching every time you put money in the pot. So what you do is you put 10% of any unexpected income in the pot. And that unexpected income could be somebody bought you coffee so you didn't have to buy it. So that's something you didn't have to buy, so you put 10% of that in the pot. Or the reason we raised so much a couple of years ago is because Rachel got an unexpected tax refund or something, and she gave us 10%, which really, really brought it up a lot. So we raised almost $800 the first time we did it, and a little less the second time. So we're going to start it again. We're going to use this little abundance book. And I looked for my abundance book. It's just this little teeny book. Hopefully some of you still have it if you want to participate. We have a few in the bookstore. We're going to get some more. And it tells you how the law of attraction works with abundance. And then we'll meet starting February 12th, right after service. It's just short, sweet. And we'll start doing this monthly. And we'll see how much money we can raise from unexpected income. It'll be fun. So Explorers is next week, and we're going to talk about stages of spiritual growth, loosely based on the book, and Evelyn says it's loosely based because she doesn't like the word faith. She wants the word spirituality. Based on the book Stages of Faith, The Psychology of Human Development and the Quest for Meaning. So that's next Sunday at 12:30. It's always a fascinating discussion. We just learn more about ourselves and about spirituality. So I hope all of you will maybe go get some lunch, come back at 12:30, and we'll have a great discussion. So this Friday is First Friday, and I hope you'll come. It's a wonderful show we have up, this bright, colorful show by Betty Burke. And last time she gave us a little information about her work, her thought process. I'm sure she'll do that again. Plus, she is part of the Hamilton Music Studio. She's been taking piano lessons from them forever, I guess. And usually whenever she's here, she brings her all the piano students in the studio to come. And these two little guys played a couple years ago. So they're players from 4 years old that can't even touch the keys or anything, and up to 80. I mean, all ages. They play good, medium, and very well. And it's great fun. We have a crowd here playing music. So we have to, Donna and Bruce are taking the day off because they're usually our wonderful music. But come and listen, hear, talk about Betty, and really check out her wonderful paintings. Okay, so, sorry, that was the back one. Go back one. So we're going to go to Janice now. She's going to tell us about this wonderful saying she has.
Well, it's interesting. I'm in the diversity group, and it was my chance to pick a quote. So what I decided to do, I get most of my quotes out of the Science of Mind magazine because people research them and they're very good, and people far more erudite than I am find them. So I took this quote, and I will explain. Donna wants me to explain it because it's kind of interesting. I thought that this was a real person because there it is. It says the white buffalo calf woman. Anyway, that was the quote. So anyway, here we go. Behold, I shall walk through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do or any kindness I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Which is an absolutely beautiful quote, and I got information on her, and I found that this woman is a spirit, or she's in legend, in Sioux legend, and her job, and Donna was fascinated by this. She always prepares the slides, and she was fascinated how much her role sounded like the role of Jesus or the role of Mary in the Catholic Church. And so what her role was, and of course this comes down through, stories, what her role was that the people were falling away from spiritual things, and we're not concentrating on that. So one of the things that she did was that she taught them how to do different ceremonies, like the pipe ceremony, the peace pipe, all kinds of things that she taught. And so she acted as a middle person between the people and the Great Spirit. And I thought that was interesting. So who actually wrote that quote, I have no idea if anyone finds out who it is, but she's there in legend, and it's just a really, really beautiful thing. So, and Donna pointed out something. She said how much that quote sounds like Science of Mind. How much it sounds like Science of Mind. And as we look at some of these quotes, we recognize how we're all part of that one. And I'll read it again. Behold, I shall walk through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do or any kindness I can show to any human being, let me do it now. And we say together, and so it is. And now if you just settle back and go into prayer. As I listen to that beautiful quote, I recognize what is mine to do. And what is mine to do is to be part of spirit and to be that light, that beauty, that love, that peace in the world. And I know that as I do that, others pick up on that and do the same thing until we have a absolute groundswell of love that permeates all that is going on. I know that at our service today that we are getting in touch with that love, that we are getting in touch with who we are and what we can each be to create a world that works for everyone. I am so grateful to know that I can use my power and that we can use our power to create peace, love, joy, beauty, all that is good. With great gratitude, I release my word, knowing that it is already so. And we say together, and so it is. And I forgot the quote. Okay. It was kind of funny. I told somebody last week they were worried about being okay on the agenda, and I go, don't worry, if you miss, they will let you know. So here we go, a grand rising. I am co-creating a world that works for everyone. Let's say that together with spirit. I am co-creating a world that works for everyone. And so it is. Thank you. Oh, and I missed my cue. More music from our wonderful band.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Go ahead, join with us. Lend me your ear and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Ooh, I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? No, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? Need somebody to love? Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Would you believe in a love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that happened tough time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I can tell you and I know it's mine. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Now, do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody
Oh, what a beautiful service we've been having so far. And Janice, I love that diversity quote. What a gift it is to be reminded from all around us the importance of showing the kindness of who we are and to being an embodiment of that spirit that we know is the divine. There's a story by Ramez Sasson, and I'm only going to share a portion of it, but the title of it is A Short Story About Finding Joy and Happiness in Everyday Life. And the way this story goes is there's a young woman named Lily who had always been searching for happiness. She had thought that happiness could only be found in the grand moments of life, such as getting a promotion, going on a vacation, or achieving a major life goal. However, despite achieving some of these milestones, Lily still felt an emptiness inside her. So I'm going to ask us to think about our own self as through this story. And one day, while she was walking in the park, she met an old man who was sitting on a bench with a content smile on his face. And intrigued, she struck up a conversation with him. To her surprise, the old man revealed that he found joy in the small things in life. He said he was grateful for the sun shining on his face, the sound of the birds chirping, and the warmth of his cup of tea. He enjoyed spending time in the company of his friends and his family. I'm wondering how many of us might have had a similar experience of thinking that we knew what was going to bring us joy or bring us happiness or help us to feel good. And they were outside achievements. Maybe we were going to get the degree or go enter into retirement or write the book or write the song or something that we thought was something that was finally going to bring us joy, finally going to bring us fill that void, to find that it doesn't. To me, that's an invitation to recognize the divine is expressing itself through us. And when we can look for the little things, look for the moments of gratitude, or the moments of you feel a connection with the divine. Maybe it's in the beauty of a flower. I know the other day when I was, I had taken my car to the mechanic and I was walking to the closest Starbucks because it was going to be a couple hours for it to be fixed. And as I was walking along, there was a bunch of rose bushes that were just kind of growing on the side of the street. And one of them was this beautiful orange rose. It looked like it had just started to open, started to bloom. It was just, so I stopped. And yes, I smelled the roses, but I also took a picture of it. And it reminded me of, in the midst of all the busyness, the street, all the cars coming by, people walking near me, I saw this beautiful rose and it reminded me of God. It reminded me of joy. It brought a smile to my face and I could smell the fragrance. And I spent a few moments just enjoying that. And that totally shifted the rest of that time. And then when I went to Starbucks and it was closed, they had a power outage. So we were all sitting outside, waiting for it to open. And it was an amazing experience. We'd been sitting out there for a while and I was doing some reading, and one of the workers came out and he wanted to thank all of us for being patient. So we all got to enjoy a pastry or croissant or something that he had on his tray free of charge. And then he came out and he brought us all waters. And I thought, wow, this is joy. This is happiness. It was unexpected. And yes, this would be an unexpected abundance example for our Kaching. That was a gift from the universe. And I got to say thank you. And he was very pleasant with all of us. And then I kept reading. And then I realized there's a lady at the next table who was greeting people as they came up and letting them know it was closed and all that. And And finally, I thought, I'm going to talk to her. And so we had a nice conversation. She was sharing about her dreams, that she was waiting for the store to open because she was between working and going to school. This was her time to get her coffee. And she was working and going towards, she wanted to be an esthetician. So we got to talk a little bit about that and her joys and what she's looking forward to before she finally had to leave. And that was a moment of feeling good to me. That was a touching heart experience of the divine, of recognizing that I got out of my comfort zone a little bit. I love to talk to people, but I was studying for a class that I'll be taking soon, and I had to read up on it. But I thought, no, I want to take a break from this and introduce myself to this young woman, and it was wonderful. We had a wonderful time just for those 5 minutes, if it was even 5 minutes before she had to leave. But to me, that was the invitation of spirit to connect with us on that heart level. Again, those are moments where we feel good and we're in the moment. We're completely in the moment. I don't know if any of you are on Facebook, and I wish I had thought to show this to Donna to turn it into a slide, but if you've seen this meme, it's 4 little pictures, and it starts with being thankful for what you have. And these are so if you can envision this in your mind as I describe it, there's 2 cars at a stop sign. One is an older car, one is a brand new car. And the driver of the older car is thinking about this beautiful car next to it. And he's like, look at that new car. And he's like, wow. And then the next slide is a person on a bicycle who's parked next to the older car. Again, they're at a stoplight. And he's thinking, if only I could afford a car. And then you move into the next slide, and it's a man walking on the side of the road next to the person on the bicycle. And he's thinking, I wish I had a bike. The last slide is a person in a wheelchair looking outside a window, looking down at the street, and he sees the person walking. So all he can see is the person walking. And this person is thinking he can go wherever he wants. If you think about the perspective of finding the joy and the gratitude in that moment and realizing what we have, it's a gift that we have one another. It's a gift to be able to shift our perspective on things sometimes. And even if it's something big that we were wanting to experience, but we're not having that invitation to do so, be grateful for what we have in this moment. Embellish it if we feel comfortable doing that. For example, and this kind of goes in the lines of unexpected abundance or income, is I am so grateful for this good in my life. I'm so grateful for the friendships. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to connect with hearts, to have someone in my life who was talking to me, who that I'm getting to share my joys with or my challenges with. I was at a memorial service yesterday for a longtime friend. He was 98. Met him years ago at church, and he passed 3 days before his 98th birthday. And but the service was yesterday, and people got up to share, and my best friend got up to share, and what Gene had meant to her and his wife Carolyn. Gene is the one who made his transition, and to see that was a friendship that was 30 years in the making, or 20 years probably for her. And that she said all those years, she never forgot his smile. She never forgot the kindness he showed. She never forgot the impression that he left in her heart, even as she moved into other jobs and got married and had a beautiful son. Braden is amazing. But she said the impression that he made in my life has carried me through all of these years. And what a gift that is. We never know what someone else is experiencing because of their life, just like people may never know that gift that they are to us. And that's the divine having its way through and as us in that moment. It's that invitation to feel good, to make that choice to feel good. I found on YouTube last night, and I did share it on my personal Facebook, a talk by Ernest Holmes. It's about 18, 19 minutes long. I listened to it a couple times last night, but the title is It's Up to Me. Or It's Up to Us is a better one. I kind of thought of it as Up to Me, but the title is It's Up to Us. And it was nice to hear Ernest's voice. Ernest is our founder of Science of Mind. And it was nice to hear his voice, one of his messages. Like I said, it was only 18 or 19 minutes long, but what he was talking about was this power that's greater than all of us, but we can use it. Kind of like the quote from the Science of Mind chat this morning, where Yadu Krishnamurti, I apologize. If you begin to understand what you are without trying to change it, then what you are undergoes a transformation. So if we think about that quote with what I'm going to share, what Ernest was talking about last night or early this morning, he's talking about there's a power within us. There's a greater possibility to us. It's tucked within our hearts. It's tucked within our being, that divine spark. But it can only do for us what it can do through us, which is why many of us have heard over the years, treat and move your feet. It's pray. Treat is a word in Science of Mind for prayer, and then move your feet, take action steps, because the divine can only express through us, as us. And that divine idea that's always around us, there's ideas always floating around. And sometimes we catch a glimpse of what that idea might be. And that's our invitation, if it feels right after we do our spiritual practice, to act on it. And it could be as something as simple as smiling at somebody, as picking up a book that we're not sure we can read. I remember in the 8th grade, I really wanted to read this James Michener book because my mom was an avid reader. And that book, I swear, was 2,000 pages. It was huge. And I really wanted to read it. And we had to read so many books a semester. So I took it to my teacher and she's like, I don't think you, I said, please let me try. And we made the agreement that I would try for a couple weeks. And if I wasn't understanding it, or if it wasn't a book I could get into, that I could choose a different book. Because usually when you picked a book, you had to read it. And it was the story of South Africa. And so I got to learn a little bit about the history of South Africa. It took me that entire semester, but I finished it. I swear if they had cut out all the adjectives, that book would have been like 800 pages. It was so wordy, but it was so inspiring that I finished it. It was hard, but I finished it, and I'd had that idea that I wanted to try it. It was to read a book. It wasn't to write a book. I wanted to read it. So I talked my teacher into letting me read it. And I've never forgotten that experience. I've never read another James Michener book, I'll be honest. But at the same time, what I started, I finished. And through challenges and wanting to stop and knowing I had an out if I wanted it, I could pick up a Nancy Drew book, or I could pick up another book that I knew I could read better or understand it, but I really wanted to finish that book. So I did. And that to me was that divine spark of encouraging me. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you can do this. I had help. My mom helped me. She helped me explain some things when I didn't understand it. My teacher explained some things when I didn't understand it, but I did the work and I was able to read it. What a joy. And it might not seem very grandiose, but it's the small things. But it taught me I could finish something that I started. He talks about living a full life, of being successful and spreading joy, because that is what the divine wants for all of us. We have come here to experience life in all of its messiness and greatness, the challenges, the joys, the connections, the shifts, the changes. It's all a beautiful, successful invitation to enjoy life, even in the midst of not even knowing what's next for us. he also talks about, and this is the one thing I really liked in his talk, was a mental house and a physical house. That we take care of our body and our physical house, but what about our mental house? Our spirituality? Are we utilizing our spiritual practices of affirmations, meditations, prayer work, feeling a oneness with the divine? And having that invitation to recognize that goodness that is always present. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, we're always getting ready to live, but never living. How many times do I make these lists and these plans, and they never quite take off because maybe I'm afraid to take that first step, or someone says, I don't think that'll work, and I listen to them. It's that invitation to look at what our hopes are, aspirations, our thoughts, and our mental house, and act on them, and to do the work to bring those to fruition. It's in our spiritual community, it's coming together, it's supporting one another and being there for one another. And when someone reaches out for support, to offer it, it could be a helping hand, it could be a shoulder to lean on, it could be a words of encouragement, or taking time to pray with somebody, and or just sit with them. There's another meme that I love. It's the dog with that cone on its around its neck, and there's a little duck sitting inside. And it says, sometimes there's no words. You just need someone to be with you when you're having a difficult day. That's what our spiritual community is about, is bringing us all together and enjoying life, and recognizing, just like our motto for CSL is we're co-creating a world that works for everyone. That's going to mean something different to each of us. And that's the gift that we've been given, is to honor and celebrate each other, no matter where we're at with what we're wanting to experience in life. And to follow that divine wisdom. I don't know if any of you have heard the quote, go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life you've imagined. Well, I was Googling that quote last night because I think there's two different authors that are given credit for this quote. One is Emerson and the other one is Thoreau. And I couldn't find a definitive answer online, but I like that quote, but I don't think that's the full quote. So I did a little more digging online, and what that quote actually is speaking to, from what I could find online and what I feel in my own contemplation time, is we use this quote, but we don't always feel it. Sometimes we have trepidation in following our dreams. Sometimes we feel insecure, or we stop, or we decide to do something different, and maybe we come back to it. So I'm wondering if not only is it going confidently in the direction of your dreams and living the life you've imagined, but what if it's all about the journey? I don't remember who wrote this, but I saw this a little bit online last night, so I started thinking more about it. And the person was talking about, it's the journey in life. It's not necessarily the destination, but it's the ups and the downs, the trials and the tribulations that this quote is speaking to. And what is our foundation? In Science of Mind, we would be asking, what is the foundation for our goals? What is the foundation for our dreams? Is it steeped in principle? Is it steeped in spiritual mind treatment? Is it steeped in that higher idea that's for all of us? Or is it steeped in uncertainty, or maybe, I'm not sure. In the Bible, you might hear about, are you placing your house on a rock or on sand? It's, what is the foundation that you are wanting to build up from, to create the spiritual house, this experience that you're enjoying and embracing in life, that we're empowered to. The divine empowers us to move forward. But I think sometimes in our humanness, we feel uncertain, or we decide it's too hard, or I don't feel like doing it right now, or this person thinks that I'm really not, right to do it. I've said many times about the voice teacher when I was a child who told me never to sing again, and I never did. So are we listening to the seeds of what others are planting, whether they mean it or not? It could be unintentionally. So take a look at the foundations for those dreams that we have, and to recognize that feeling good it's a personal choice. It's also important that to think about if we're living the life we're feeling called to live, or are we feeling called to live a life that we think someone else wants us to live? Are we truly showing up as who we are, or who we think the other person wants to see or experience? There's a difference. And that's an invitation to be that essence, that light that the divine created us in. We are made in the image and likeness of this divine essence, this divine life, this divine presence. And what a gift that is. So if we can shift that perspective of, wow, that person has a car. I wish I had a nicer car. Oh my goodness, I would, I'm blind in one eye, and there's been many a time I've been like, I really wish I could play ping pong better, because without the depth perception, it's a little bit difficult. And then I realize I'm grateful I have vision. I'm grateful I can see. I didn't realize this, but there was a possibility that I would go completely blind. I am grateful that no one ever shared that with me until I was older, because I also believe in the power of suggestion. I'm grateful I can see. I may not play ping pong very well. You wouldn't want me on your team. Unless you were, one is some comic relief. Bowling is another one. Comic relief. But it's that joy, that gratitude of the little things. I was 3 pounds when I was born. There was a divine intention for me being here, just like there's a divine intention for all of us to be here. Or are we answering that call of spirit? Are we trusting that the divine light that's within us is expressing itself? Because I know it is. Yogi Berra has said, this is another quote from the Science of Mind chat, the future ain't what it used to be. Things change in our world. Our experiences and our expectations shift. Are we shifting with it to find the joy in those little things? That's the invitation that we have to share and experience life. And Thich Nhat Hanh, again from the Science of Mind quotes, and thank you, Janice, for finding these every week. They are so spot on and they're amazing. They make me think. And that's a gift that you give all of us, Janice and John, when you find these quotes and share them with us. Thich Nhat Hanh's quote is, impermanence does not necessarily lead to suffering. What makes us suffer is wanting things to be permanent when they are not. Again, it's looking for the little things, feeling good in the moment, being grateful for what we have, and recognizing where we put our attention more grows. So when we talk about the unexpected abundance, or we talk about the 4 agreements, it's where we're placing our attention is what we see more of. And when we expect things to stay the same, it can be uncomfortable when they change, because the only constant in the world that the divine gave us is change. I will never be this age again, neither will any of us. In an hour, I will be older. I will have a different perspective on something, possibly. I might see something and realize, oh, I want to shift my thinking in that area. Or, oh my goodness, I found this new story and I want to have this show up in my life. We will never be the same. And that's the beauty of spirit. Just like Ernest Holmes said, it's up to us to take this divine wisdom that's been planted within us, listen to it, hear it, build that foundation on rock, and move forward from that place. I would like to end with a story. It's from A Deep Breath of Life by Alan Cohen. And I just love this. This is actually from the January 23rd Daily Guide. He says he titles it A Few Kind Words. Sandra was born with a physical deformity known as a hair lip, and she developed a great deal of self-consciousness about it. Sandra's self-esteem was low, and she constantly feared others making fun of her or rejecting her. 5th grade was one of Sandra's hardest years, and when the time came for the teacher's end of the year evaluation, Sandra was petrified. She even had nightmares as the dreaded day approached. Finally, the day arrived, and Sandra nervously forced herself to walk up to the teacher's desk and receive Mrs. Harrison's comments about her. When she opened up the envelope, Sandra found but one sentence: "I wish you were my little girl." Years later, Sandra recounted, "That was the beginning of the end of my self-esteem problem. Someone I respected loved me." What word can we share, or what smile can we share with someone today that can not only change their life, but can change our life? In this story, the divine hearts were connecting between Mrs. Harrison and Sandra in a way that was impactful to Sandra, with no words spoken, one sentence written on a piece of paper. We have no idea how we can change someone else's life by changing ours, by living our principles quietly, day to day. We don't have to espouse them in loud ways. We can espouse them through our actions, through our choices, through who we are. Just like the diversity quote that Janice shared this morning, and I'm going to look it up, from White Buffalo Calf Woman: "Behold, I walk through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness I can show to any human being, let me do it now." Mrs. Harrison did that for Sandra. That old man in the story did that for Lily. How are we shifting our world and recognizing, as Josh called it, our buried self? Reverend Josh at Mile High did a talk recently, and he talked about it being the buried self that's within us. That's the divine wanting to express itself. How are we showing up and being the truth of who we are? And we do that, we feel good because we're feeling the love of spirit. I turn within in prayer, giving thanks for this time today, recognizing and knowing that there is joy and love and beauty. Infinite wisdom is the divine, whatever we may call the divine: God, love, spirit, wholeness, ultimate stuff, whatever it is. I saw the divine in that beautiful rose that one day. That infinite light, that infinite presence is within each and every one of us. There is a divine oneness. And as I recognize that truth, I recognize it for all of us. The truth of who we are is that divine in expression. It's showing up as us, quietly, yet very strong. Our foundation is absolutely ingrained in spirit. We are anchored and centered in spirit within. We see it all around us in our perspectives that I invite to shift and maybe open our hearts a little more to see something on a greater level or in a different light. Shifting it from, "Oh my goodness," to, "Oh wow, I can't wait to experience this new life," or this new, whatever it may be. Because it has the divine, it is up to us to express that divineness, that divine givingness, to answer the call. And as I recognize and know this truth for each and every one of us, I am so grateful for all of us who come together every Sunday, who communicate during the week through text or phone call, or sending positive thoughts each other's way when they come into our minds or our hearts. If we think of someone and we're not able to call them, send them love energetically, or say hi energetically, whatever it might be, because that is the divine circuits having its way through and as us, as Emerson calls it. How grateful I am to recognize and know this truth, and grateful for our AV team for bringing all of this to light so we can interact with one another virtually and in person. Grateful for the music that touches our hearts, opens our hearts, and for the words that we've been guided to share today through Janice, through Donna, through everyone who brought our service together, through Steve hosting this morning. It is all by divine appointment we are here today to recognize that infinite good. As I release my word into the law, I am filled with gratitude, knowing it is already done. I let it be, and so it is. Thank you all. May we enjoy our next song, I will make a quiet place. What a beautiful song.
I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Be still, my heart, be still. Be still, my soul, be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place, be still, my soul, and be still and know. Oh, I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place within my heart. Quiet place within my heart. I will wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place within my heart. Quiet place within my heart. Wait upon the Lord. I will wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord.
Thank you so much. I just love our music and our band. And thank you for those of you who are filling in today. It's all by divine appointment. It is now time for our conscious giving. So as you take your gift and bless it yourself as we share our affirmation together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prospered. Thank you, God. And please don't forget, you can donate through our website, mailing it into our center or on Sundays. Their financial gifts help us continue to do the work in the world that we are called to do. And we are very grateful for all of the time, talent, and treasure of our beloved members and congregants. So please do give from your heart. Now let us bless these gifts together, recognizing and giving thanks for the goodness of God, for the generosity of our congregation, for answering the call, and knowing that our givers are blessed as they receive back abundantly all good things. Grateful for knowing that these gifts go out into the world to truly do the work of the divine. By divine appointment, I am filled with gratitude. We bless these gifts and say, and so it is. It's now time for our peace song. And that's something we all could pray for.
Now there is peace on earth. I know it begins with me. Now there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in all of my affairs.
Life is in the body of my affairs.
I think it,
I think it.
I feel it,
I feel it.
and I love it.
And I love it.
Just the way that it is,
Just the way that it is.
and just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Have a blessed Sunday and the rest of your week. I love all of you, and God bless. Namaste.